Hey guys, so I'm going to be doing two reviews right now. These are movies I actually saw quite a bit ago, but I really didn't know what to say about them because there really wasn't a way to do a full review about them because I just there wasn't really much to say, and so I decided that it would be a good idea to put these two reviews together. The movies I'm going to be reviewing are Moonfall and Uncharted. I'm going to start with the worst Moonfall. Moonfall is the latest Ronald Emmerich movie. It's a disaster flick. It is. I don't know what this movie is, man. It tries to be a lot of different things, and it never really sticks the landing, because the biggest problem I have with this film is that it doesn't know what it wants to be. At one point, it's a disaster film. At another point, it is a sci-fi drama. At another point, it is a family drama. At another point, it is a I don't even know. It's insane how unclear their vision for this film was, and you can you can tell by how poorly the script is written. There was a lot of really terrible character decisions that nearly get a lot of people killed, and it's just the movie is all over the place. It doesn't really have a clear structure, and there's so many clashing tones that it never really feels like anything's really progressing per se. It's a wild time, and I guess you could really overlook everything and kind of just have fun with a dumb movie. But the film, it's also painstakingly boring, and that is not something you want a disaster film to be, especially a disaster film from Ronald Emmerich. I mean, this guy made Independence Day, one of the best sci-fi movies ever. So I was insanely disappointed. Though I didn't really expect much going in, I was expecting more than this. So, disappointing film. I wish it was better, but sadly, it was this dumpster fire. And it does have some okay aspects. Like there were some characters that I guess kind of cared about, and there's some impressive CGI, and I'll give it to Ronald Emmerich. He definitely knows how to create this visual spectacle. But other than that, it's just it's not a good movie, and I'm saying that with all the respect in the world. A ton of people were involved in this project, and I know every single one of them probably put their heart and soul into this project. So I'm not here to judge, but personally, it was just really bad. So with all that being said, I'm gonna give Moonfall a D. Second movie I wanted to review is Uncharted. Now, the problem with this film is that it's not horrible, and it's definitely not bad, but it is insanely mediocre. So there is, again, not much to say about it. I do think Tom Holland does play a pretty convincing young Nathan Drake, which was a little bit of a surprise to me. You could definitely tell that he cared about the source material and that he was trying to do his best, and he did pull it off. I think he did pretty well, and if they decide to do Uncharted sequels, I wouldn't be angry if they casted Tom Holland as Nathan Drake again. I think he did a pretty good job. But where this movie kind of falls for me is the fact that I really just wasn't interested in the story. It does a lot of National Treasure and Indiana Jones type things where it's just a lot of backstabbing and reveals, which are not really reveals because you kind of see them coming from a mile away. But there is a good heart to the film, and I do think what they do with Nathan Drake is pretty good. Although all the backstabbing kind of ruins it a little bit because it's just a lot of characters betraying one another, so you don't know which ones you're supposed to take seriously and which ones you are supposed to take seriously. So that is an issue the film has. Also, the action sequences are thrilling at times, and I do think Mark Wahlberg, even though he was miscast as Sully, was fun, and I didn't give a shit about the villain. I actually thought the villain, which is kind of a spoiler, was kind of weak. So nothing really there. And I do wish that the movie was a bit shorter because it does run on a little too long, and there are just things that don't need to be there. But I did have fun, and there are some aspects that are pretty good about the film. Again, I wouldn't run out and see this movie. Maybe just rent it when it comes out on VOD. I did see it in IMAX, and it is formatted for IMAX, so there were some really cool spectacles to see. But unless you unless you're like a huge Uncharted fan or you're just looking for a good adventure movie, I really do think you could just rent this movie. It's not really theater worthy in my opinion. I do think that it could just be watched at home. But that being said, that is a very unpopular opinion because I usually do think that movies should be in theaters, like most of them. But I just didn't care about this film, and it was fine, I guess. They could have done a lot more. They could have done a lot better. Um, but again, I'm not here to judge. Of course, a lot of people worked on this film and they poured their heart and love into it. So, no judgment here. Personally, just didn't find it the best. So, with all that being said, I'm going to give Uncharted a C. Well, that's it for right now. I'm so sorry. I was going to review those films separately. I feel like I would just be repeating myself a lot. So, I just I didn't think it was entirely necessary to do separate reviews for them. Um, Again, I'm still learning, so obviously there are ways that I could have, and I will improve. If you guys have any criticisms or anything that I should improve on, please let me know. I know the camera quality is not the greatest, and I am trying to save up for a camera. So I will be trying to get that pretty soon. Um, but again, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Let me know what you think of these movies down below. I didn't find them the best, but they are definitely, to a certain degree, enjoyable. Um, Leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.